I'm Mathangi. I am the Chief Data Officer at Yubi. I have around 20 years of experience, all in data science and AI and analytics. I started in this field into analytics, building risk scorecards. From there, as the field evolved into more of computer science, and when natural language processing became mainstream adoption in organizations, I got into that field as well. I have around 100 patent grants in the area of customer experience. Have written two books, one on natural language processing for a practitioner. This is again pre-generative AI era. And the other book is on how do you leverage data science for business applications, which people who are not native to data science will be able to benefit from. This gives an intuitive thought process on how machine learning works and how that can be applied to various business problems out there. I believe in creating impacts through AI, and that's what excites me. I think AI can make the world a much better place, and it is constantly progressing. We are living at a point where there are a lot of possibilities and a lot of things that can happen through data, AI, and machine learning. Coming to question on my current mandate, I take care of data across UB and the group companies. UB is a debt lending infrastructure where a lot of large scale as well as large scale retail transactions also flow through the platform. We are also a marketplace where people who need money gets connected to people who can give money. We have a collections arm where the money gets funneled back to the source. We are also into retail and enterprise risk. As the taking care of data there, I take up various AI products and solutions to banks and NBFCs across the globe. We started out with India, and we also have presence in MENA, and then we are taking it to various countries from there. What is exciting is financial industry impacts our lives in more way than what you can think of, and powering that through AI will truly build financial inclusion, right? And that's something that will be game changing for the economies and for the people across the world, right? So how do you make better decisions so that the right funds reach the right set of people, is what has been what we have been working on at UB. Today, especially in data science and AI, the field that I come from, it is so democratized, right? So there are libraries out there, tools out there. So it is a lot of the competition out there. The entry bar is very less. It is important that how you stand out among all the clutter. Networking is extremely easier. Fundamentals have to be stronger. Develop the skill, constantly work towards it. Then working towards showcasing your profile or working towards how do you cut through the clutter. The real essence of why they want to get into the field is missing. Whatever I've learned on the job. It's extremely important for students to work on their purpose. So my way of learning things is by doing. My way of learning things is not just by reading. A lot of my learning came from the team that I was working with and while solving real world problems. At leadership levels, we want people who know deep technical expertise, but also have the nuances of solving a practical problem. So there is a lack of talent density at the leadership level itself, and that kind of percolates through the system. So appreciating and having an empathy, I want to use the word very deliberately, having an empathy to a business problem is very, very important. And that's a soft skill that would really differentiate a fresher from a person who kind of knows everything to know how to solve a problem. I would say a student should spend 70 to 80% of your learning time in understanding what problems your area will help you solve. Finding the problem is the biggest problem. Once you find the problem, then you can solve it. Girls need to be encouraged into STEM, and that starts from the schools. Parents who think and see a potential in their children should start nudging them towards it. It does start from school. It does start from home. It is a tough field. There is no question about it. It is tough for men and women because it's a field where you have to constantly be updated, constantly learn, constantly on the go. Women make a huge difference in leadership, in STEM, because they bring in an atmosphere that otherwise have not been seen there. You may have as many diversity rules as possible and diversity quota and everything as possible, but if you are not as an organization embracing enough for different styles of working and engagement, then you're going to shut that down completely. Guy who is very bullish about something, he wants to make it big, that's considered huge, that's considered something to go after. Whereas a woman who's very bullish about certain things, it's considered in a very different light. Girls getting into STEM, is they should also become a little stronger. Where even now in this world that we are living in, there is a lot of headwind for women to have a long career. If you see a guy sitting at home and taking care of home and taking care of kids, the first thing you ask is why. And if you see a woman who is kind of traveling, doing all of these things, growing up in the career, is how much more time are you going to do this? When you voice out as a woman and say that, hey, there seems to be a bias going on, or this person had a bias, and or this person refused to report to me because I was a woman. I have these cases. In those cases, right? You saying that statement doesn't seem to be right. You saying that statement is, you are trying to make yourself as a victim, right? You're playing a victim card. Trust me, there have been feedback like that. You can take all the VP and above women in in all the companies, ask them how many of them are guilty of not cooking before coming to work. You will see a bunch of hands go up. People get referred as, hey, you are a diversity head. There are people who have told me, hey, you are a diversity head. Come on.
Yeah.
That's an insult to me. Diversity quota should get awareness, right? It is not, hey, I filled my X percentage of people and I am good. That's not how you are good. That doesn't mean you are good. Awareness is fine. Having a guideline on a diversity is fine. But using that to say A over B, no, that is something I wouldn't recommend. Develop it alongside your career.